man, Mr. UConn himself, he showed up and he said, "Yep." He told us, right? He told us. He said, "Y'all gonna be upset when we make it to the championship." But
Mhm.
speaking of that, we're gonna get right to it because one team hasn't been to the Final Four in a while. What is it like? I think no, a few of these teams. NC State
Mhm.
shocked us. They made it. Alabama made it to the
Mhm.
Final Four. I mean, we all knew UConn was gonna be there, so Tony, you don't
Mhm.
have to brag too much. But and then we got Zach Edey and crew, Mr. Unreliable in them, as CTC Carl would say. They made it
Yeah,
to the Final Four as well. So look what
exactly.
we got here. We got to talk about our biggest takeaway from the Elite Eight. And I'll just jump in right quick. My biggest takeaway was one, uh, North Carolina not making it. Also Duke losing to NC State, ACC rivals. I mean, come on now, we talking about a team that wasn't even supposed to be there. Now they 11 seed. They had to win every game in the ACC tournament just to get here. One
Mm.
more games in Cap One Arena than the Wizards just to get here, and look where they at now. Talk about a Cinderella story. Also, nothing but the tide, baby. If you know what I'm talking about, then you need to go look it up. I can't say too much because I almost forgot we was on air. That break.
Mhm.
But those are some of the takeaways, and also Purdue getting hit. I didn't expect Purdue to get to the Final Four. I expected them to get maybe to the Sweet 16, flirt with the Elite Eight, and probably lose. But now look where they at, dancing with the Final Four. So those are a few of my takeaways, man. The teams that I thought was gonna be there ain't there, and the teams that are there, I'm happy for them.
Yeah, I gotta start with this comment though. I agree with my brother 100% on this one. I
Mm,
think they were ranked terribly. I honestly would have put them maybe like four, maybe not four, but maybe like a 6 or 7 seed at least. But they had them at 11. And this is why I kind of sort of disagree with Carl when he said the ACC is top heavy. Because look at all the other ACC teams that made it this far. Clemson made it to the Elite Eight. Um,
yeah.
well, not Elite, Sweet 16 or Elite Eight, but you had Clemson that went far. You got NC State in the Final Four now. You had Duke and UNC both in the Sweet 16. The top heavy teams are Duke and UNC. Really, if you look at everyone else, there's really no one else. But we got other people in the tournament. Like so, I wouldn't say that we're top heavy. But this also I think my biggest shocker was Purdue getting to the Final Four because I didn't expect that to happen. I thought Dalton Connect would cook. I mean, he cooked too. He had a really good game, but Edie put up 40. Edie
Man,
put up 40, so it was like, what is like you pretty much got to match with him and you can say that there were a lot of calls that were going towards Purdue in the first half, but at the end of the day, you got to play the game. Got to play the game no matter what and win. So that was the biggest takeaway for me is that, and then how the UConn is just dominating their way all the way through. It's just ridiculous. I don't get it now. It's like they're winning. It's like they're guaranteed to win a game by at least 10, 15 points.
they stole
It's,
the powers from the women's team, because
man, did they? Because
the
remember
women's
when
bracket is all balanced out. Yep,
Gino REM used to run through the tournament all the time. Now
yep.
they back in it now, but for a while it wasn't dominated by him for a while. So man, it's crazy, but um, it's just this college basketball March Madness has been very exciting on both sides for men and women. It's been very
Facts.
very exciting because you got the rematch now with LSU and Iowa.
That's
And then
today,
you
right?
got, yep. So you got that matchup, man. It's going to be some exciting basketball to see. You got Juju Watson, with USC, got them in the Elite Eight, man. That young girl that young lady has been on fire this year. So I'm excited to see how everything's going to go. It's just those were my two biggest takeaways: NC State being ranked low, and UConn just dominating. I mean, it's almost a guarantee that UConn's going to win the championship now.
I mean, y'all say it's not a Cinderella story, but if NC State faces UConn, you think NC State got a chance? Because I like you
Yeah.
said, UConn
I
has
think they
been
got a
blowing
chance.
people out.
DJ Burns is a monster in the
Difference
paint,
maker.
man. It's almost it's not he is not only a monster on the court, he's a monster off the court because you hear about his stuff that he's doing with vending machines and stuff. So
Smart
he's
man.
smart, man. He's smart and he just boom. He just wow. He
I
just he
know.
just he's just really good. Uh,
Easy
we-
game.
agree to disagree, Carl. I'm not mad with your take, but I think they should have been like 7, 8, just because of how well they played in the ACC tournament. But
Yeah,
hey,
nah. I mean, a lot of people are saying NC State. I mean, even though that you did, I mean, where they were ranked at, you got to think of the teams like you said they got to go up against. So they are kind of battle tested. So for them to get where they're at shows you that ACC, like you said, ain't that top heavy. You kind of got to agree there. If you got to go up against Duke and UNC twice, maybe 3 times, when you get here, you're like, I can beat anybody if I could beat them. And I got to go to the ACC tournament, win 5 games straight. I had to beat them again. Then to get to the Elite Eight, guess who I got to beat again? Duke. My bad. But we just got to get there.
so good. I mean, they beat some top teams. They beat UNC in the ACC final, and then they beat Duke the first game to get there, and then it's just like, all right, this is NC State just seems destined. Like Carl said, they just seem destined to make it to the finals.
I mean, everybody has a destiny, man. You just got to find which clear path goes for you. And speaking of destinies, the way the Refuse to Lose network comes together, how we got shows, chats, memberships. Talk about a little bit about these shows right quick before we move on to the next topic.
Yeah, man. So these shows that we have, like my favorite word to say is we have a